So now I'm going to show you how to use our medium firm regular tofu. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make it into French toast. That's right, vegan French toast. Now, what we're going to do is, it's a very simple recipe. I'm simply going to take all my ingredients, which include the medium firm tofu, some vanilla extract, some cinnamon, some maple syrup, some soy milk, and some freshly ground nutmeg. And we're just going to blend it in this food processor until it's smooth and creamy. So I'm going to open up my tofu. I find using a knife to just slit the top open is the easiest way to get this kind of tofu open because there is water in there. And now I'm just going to drain off my water. So that's what a block of tofu looks like. Not much. I'm going to add that to my blender, or my food processor, I should say. I'm going to add my vanilla extract, my cinnamon, my maple syrup. You could use sugar instead of the maple syrup if you'd like. I just like maple syrup. My soy milk. And some freshly grated nutmeg. Just a little bit of this. Plenty. Snap my lid on and I'm just going to blend it. And I'm just going to scrape the sides down here a little bit. So I make sure I've got everything in there. And I'm just going to blend it again. Okay, that does it. So now what I'm left with is this creamy mixture. Now that I've pureed my mixture, I'm just going to pour it into a baking dish. And over here I have some white bread that I think this was just a French loaf that I cut into fairly thick slices. You could also use any kind of white bread that's thickly sliced. Just obviously make sure that you check the ingredients to make sure that it is vegan. So I'm going to be using my griddle today to cook these. Now you could use a frying pan if you'd like. I just happen to have my griddle and like using it for stuff like French toast. So I've preheated my griddle and now I'm just going to lightly grease it with some vegan margarine. And then just like regular French toast, I'm going to take a piece of bread, dunk it in my mixture here, flip it over, do the other side. Then I'm going to put it on my grill. You don't want it sitting in the mixture for too long because otherwise the inside will get way too soggy and it'll take forever to cook. I think 3 pieces is good on here. So I'm just going to let that cook until the bottom gets nicely browned. It should take about 5 minutes per side, and then once the bottom is browned, I'll flip it over. So it's been about 5 minutes. I'm going to flip these now. As you can see, it's developed quite a nice brown color to it. So I'm just going to flip them and then cook them for about another 5 minutes on the other side. Okay, these look just about ready. So I'm just going to transfer them to a plate. That looks yummy. And I'm just going to put a little bit of maple syrup over it. And there you have vegan French toast made with medium firm tofu. So now I'm going to show you what to do with firm tofu. So the recipe that I'm going to be using for the firm tofu is a quiche. Now, normally, as you know, a quiche would have eggs in it, but I'm going to be replacing the eggs with my firm tofu. So I'm going to show you how to make the mixture. Just going to open up my tofu. Drain off the liquid. And I'm just going to put it in my food processor here. Now to that, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is something used very often in vegan cooking. It gives things somewhat of a cheesy flavor. Then I'm going to add some turmeric. And this is what's going to give our tofu kind of like a yellow color, sort of how eggs would be. Then I'm going to add some Dijon mustard. And this is black salt. Now it is actually pink in color, but what this is it's made from volcanic rock, and it actually kind of smells like rotten eggs. So this I use in anything where I want to replace eggs, and it kind of gives it a bit of an eggy flavor. You'll notice as soon as it starts to mix up, it'll really start to smell like eggs. And you don't really need a whole lot of that because it's still salt, so it can be quite salty if you put too much in. Then I'm just adding some cornstarch and some soy milk. And now I'm just going to pop my lid on and blend this until everything is smooth. Okay, that about does it. So right now, whoops, it kind of looks a bit like egg salad. So I have here some cooked spinach and mushrooms, and this mixture can really go with any kind of quiche that you want to make. So I just happen to have some leftover mushrooms and some spinach that I needed to use up, so I figured I'll make a spinach mushroom quiche. But you could really make any kind of quiche that you want with this recipe. So now I'm just going to take my tofu mixture and mix it in to my spinach and mushroom mixture. And then I've also got some vegan mozzarella cheese that I've shredded. I'm going to add that to it as well. And then I'm just going to mix everything until everything is well incorporated. Okay, everything's nicely mixed up. And this is ready to use as is, but like I say with all different kinds of tofu dishes, I like to let it sit for a while and let the flavors absorb. So what I usually like to do with quiches is I traditionally like to have them for Sunday brunch. So I'll make the mixture on a Saturday night and then refrigerate this overnight and then use the mixture in the morning. But I am going to use this right now to finish this dish off. And I have here a pre-prepared pie dough that I made earlier. And I have provided the recipe for this. So I'm just going to add my mixture to my shell here. There's basically enough mixture here to either make one large quiche like this in a fluted pan with sides that are 2 inches high, or it will be enough to fill 2 regular 8-inch pie plates that are only 1 inch high. So just smooth that out. And now that's ready to go into a 375-degree oven, and this will take anywhere from 1 hour to 1.5 hours. I will check it after 1 hour to see how brown my crust is and to see whether or not the mixture is firm. So it should take anywhere from about 1 hour to 1.5 hours in a 375-degree oven. So here's a photo of the finished quiche. It ended up taking about 1 hour and 15 minutes in the oven. It was absolutely delicious. My husband and I had it for dinner that night with a nice tossed green salad.